The last flight over Praia Grande. A tragic balloon story. The sky over Praia Grande was a breathtaking canvas of golden morning light, streaked with the hues of dawn. Beneath it, a group of 20 excited passengers gathered in a clearing surrounded by green hills and misty cliffs. They had signed up for a scenic hot air balloon ride, an experience meant to be unforgettable. And it would be, but not for the reasons anyone had imagined. The operator, Sobrevoar Serviços Turísticos, was known for flights over the region dubbed the Brazilian Cappadocia. Picturesque landscapes, soft winds, and early morning silence. Everything seemed perfect for what should have been a beautiful and tranquil ride. Among the passengers were families, couples, and solo adventurers. There was Clara, a figure skater celebrating her birthday, Dr. Rafael, an ophthalmologist on vacation with his wife, Marina and Sofia, a mother-daughter duo from Porto Alegre, and Lucas, a newlywed traveling without his wife, who was pregnant and had stayed behind. The pilot, a veteran of many flights, went through the routine safety briefing. Few listened closely. Everyone was too excited, taking selfies, posting stories, waving to the camera drone above. By 6:15 a.m., the balloon lifted gently into the sky, the giant envelope above catching the early light like a lantern in heaven. No one knew they had just stepped into a nightmare. About 20 minutes into the flight, the balloon soared over a ridge, offering panoramic views of canyons and rivers. People gasped at the beauty, not noticing the faint smell of gas or the flicker of orange in the corner of the basket. A backup torch positioned improperly in the gondola suddenly ignited. A spark, then a flash, then a fire! Screams pierced the morning stillness. Flames erupted from beneath the balloon. The pilot shouted for everyone to move to the opposite side, but panic set in instantly. One passenger tried to stamp out the fire, but it only spread. The heat intensified, and people began huddling against the wicker walls. "Jump if you can!" the pilot yelled as he struggled to descend. But they were still too high. Wind currents made the descent unstable. The balloon was now a fireball in the sky, visible from miles away. Some jumped, others froze. Clara, trembling and scorched, clung to the edge, whispering a prayer. Dr. Raphael held his wife's hand tight. Neither of them made it out alive. Marina tried to lower her daughter over the edge, but Sofia panicked, slipping and falling. Marina jumped after her. The balloon came crashing down minutes later, engulfed in flame and smoke. The impact scattered debris and passengers across a wide area. Some who jumped survived, though badly burned or broken. Others, those who stayed behind, perished in the crash or died moments later from their injuries. Emergency services rushed to the scene. Local farmers had seen the fire in the sky and called for help. Paramedics arrived to a horrifying scene: charred grass, a collapsed balloon, and bodies, some still clinging to life. 8 were confirmed dead, including Clara, Dr. Raphael and his wife, Marina and Sofia, and a couple celebrating their anniversary. 13 others were taken to the hospital, some in critical condition. The pilot survived, his hands and face burned, and was later questioned by investigators. The news spread across Brazil within hours. This was the worst hot air balloon accident in the country's history. It raised painful questions. Why had the balloon been flying despite regulations? Why were 21 people allowed in a balloon of that size? Why was the equipment faulty? And why hadn't anyone stopped these illegal flights? Praia Grande had become a haven for clandestine balloon tours. Though banned in Brazil since 1998 due to risks, operators found loopholes or simply ignored the law. Tourists, unaware or trusting, booked rides thinking all was safe. Authorities had turned a blind eye for years. This tragedy forced them to open their eyes. Investigations began immediately. The National Civil Aviation Agency, ANIPA, and local fire departments joint inquiries. The cause? Preliminary reports pointed to a malfunctioning backup torch, improperly stored and possibly leaking. The fire had started small, but in a flammable wicker basket with fuel tanks, it became a deadly blaze in seconds. The pilot was not certified for commercial balloon operations. The company had no federal approval. And yet, they had flown hundreds, maybe thousands of tourists before this. Now, 8 lives were lost, and dozens more were shattered. At the memorial, a white balloon was released for each of the victims. Clara's parents couldn't stop crying. Marina's husband, cradling her photo and their daughter's backpack, spoke through sobs. She wanted an adventure. She got fire and pain instead. The tragedy over Praia Grande was a brutal reminder that beauty can hide danger and that unchecked dreams can become deadly. As the sun set over the hills a few days later, the skies were empty. No balloons floated. Only the silence remained, a silence that screamed of lives taken too soon.